Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brian here. How's everyone doing tonight? Well, we're going to be reviewing another Christmas horror movie. This is it's kind of a horror, it's kind of a comedy too at the same time. So this is the movie called Santa's Sleigh. Santa's Sleigh came out in 2005. It stars Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus. And it's a very interesting plot. It's kind of corny, but it's funny though. It's a good movie. So if you have not seen Santa Sleigh and you don't want nothing to be spoiled, spoiler alert, is in effect. Sorry. So let's get right into the movie. So the movie starts out with a family having dinner. It's the song "Joy to the World's" playing. You've got the dad. He's an older guy, probably in his late 50s, early 60s. You've got they're twin girls. They're probably in their they're maybe like teenagers. They're probably in early 20s. They're maybe like 18, 19, maybe, but they look like they're more so early 20s. You've got another girl that's like probably in her mid 20s. She's married, so I'm assuming she's like at least old enough to drink and everything. And then you've got a stepmother, or I'm assuming she's the girl's stepmom, and she's the mom of the other ones. She says like these girls are like saying, "Oh, we better not have generic stuff," and the girl said, "Don't settle for Prada." And then there's a boyfriend, well, husband of the one girl that's sitting at the end of the table. He's clearly cheating on his girlfriend with her stepmom. They're playing a little loosey goose on the table. She's touching his down there, and then he also says, "Let's dig in," and he sticks his fingers are, where it's. I'm not gonna can't get too graphic. We're on YouTube. Don't want to get the channel demonetized or banned. So yeah, they're having a side affair or whatever, and the wife knows it. So she says, "What would you like for Christmas?" She says, "Just a faithful husband." And then the other lady, the stepmom, says, what's the second thing you want?" So they're clearly having an affair. That's really not a big point in the movie, but yeah, it's like the beginning. The dad says, "I'll cut your nuts off." They're like kind of arguing with Beth. Say grace. They say grace. As after they're done praying, they hear something coming down the chimney. Land, they see feet, and then Bill Goldberg punches out the brick, and that's actually the little picture right there. Him standing there. And the girl, goes, "Oh, Santa," the hot stepmom. She goes, "Santa," and he goes, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus." I don't like it that he hurt the dog, but he kicked the dog. Unfortunately, that's the part I don't like about it. But he runs over and he stabs James Caan in the hand, but ends with silverware, and then like he starts picking them off one by one. They all end up getting killed. The funny part is, the funny part is the husband of the girl, the young guy from Midnight at the Roxbury. He goes, "You want some?" And he goes, "Ooh," and then Bill Goldberg just literally kicks him, and it's pretty funny. Um, but yeah, he that's the end of the movie. Then it shows this intro. It's a funny little story of like it looks like a old book, and it's like it shows an angel coming to Santa Claus and him losing a bet and then being forced to bring joy to the world. The whole premise of this thing is I'll tell you when it's when it officially reveals it. So then it goes to this town, like this little deli, where you've got an older lady. She's being rude to this employee. You've got these two employees. They're clearly like they kind of have some sexual tension or like crushes on each other or something. I don't know what you'd call it. Maybe attracted to each other. I don't know if they dated before or not. It doesn't explain it in the movie. An old lady, she's being real mean. She's cursing at him and stuff and being like rude and pushy with him. And then initially she ends up leaving the store, or it shows her driving down the street. And then Bill Goldberg, Santa Claus, she's driving crazy. This lady's driving way too slow for one, and she's all over the road. She's trying to light a cigarette. She should not be driving. Bill Goldberg and his reindeer. It's not even a reindeer. It's a bull looking thing, like a ram, like a buffalo or a ram. Not a ram, a buffalo. Oh, and it's like he's saying, "Move out of the way." Actually, it has a little horn thing. It's well, he ends up running her off the road, and she ends up dying. And then it goes back to the shop, and then like the guy gives the Christmas presents, gives the girl a snow globe, the owner of the shop, and gives the boy a clock that can tell time, all the time zones owns. Tells you exactly what time it is in each country in the world and each time zone. On he goes back to his house. He gets dropped off. He did on the way there. Him and the girl were talking about stuff that he didn't get for Christmas and stuff, and didn't like it. Well, the grandfather, the old lady said this in the beginning. Tell your grandfather put up some Christmas lights. Um, the grandfather's a grumpy. He's kind of like a Scrooge. Kind of, he doesn't like Christmas. He's kind of like a scientist though. He's kind of like Doc from uh, Back to the Future, just not as like crazy and probably a little bit less intelligent. But yeah, he is down in the basement, and he actually says that I flipped off the light switch because the light blew and I didn't know if it was on or off, so I just turned off all the power. They go up, and then he says, "Grandpa, I want to know the real truth about Christmas." Not no, I already know Santa Claus doesn't exist, and he says that well, Santa Claus wasn't always the big marketed nice guy that Coca Cola paints him to be, which is true. And it basically starts reading a story about the Day of Claus, and it's revealed that Santa Claus was the devil, Satan's only son. That's real nice. But yeah, it's the movie that it was his only son, and like he was evil doing things. So he ends up going to let the girl and the girls in. Him and the girl get into a little bit of an argument or dispute. So then they finish reading the story. He finished reading the story about how an angel. It shows a little cool stop motion thing. An angel takes the form of an old man, one of God's generals. Later in the movie. It's revealed to be that angel was the grandfather, and goes to Santa and makes a bet with him that if they could slide these things in rocks near this hole. They were ice fishing. Whoever's lands closest to the hole without falling in and wins. And if Santa Claus wins, he was going to deliver or the angel to it was an old man to hell for torture, an eternity of torture. And if the old man wins, Santa Claus could no longer be killing people or hurting people or stealing from people anymore. Not only did he have to do that for 1,000 years, but he also had to spread joy to the world on Christmas Eve for 1,000 years. They bet Santa Claus gets as close as he possibly can to the hole. The old man throws his, and it knocks his in the hole, and it got close. So the old man wins. Santa loses. Santa has to do it. Um, and that basically explains it. And the boy goes, "Holy shit, that was 1,000 years ago exactly." Um, and the goal of it was the angel thought that if Santa Claus was forced to bring joy to the world and couldn't do bad things for 1,000 years, he would learn his lesson and wouldn't want to hurt people and stuff. Well, he's evil, so he didn't learn that obviously. And then the boy looks out, shows Santa's sleigh flying, and the boy ends up calling the girl. They end up going together because it's in the meantime Santa Claus goes to a strip club, hurts a bunch of people, messes up the bouncers and strippers, and then lights the place on fire. That pastor took all the church's money and was there. It was pretty messed up. Um, Santa Claus's reindeer or bull eats the one of the bouncer or the valets. And then initially what ends up happening is um, they just Santa Claus leaves and all that. He's wreaking havoc around the entire town. The next day it's Christmas. Santa Claus is walking. He ends up killing the shop owner because he says they're closed. The boy finds him. The boy's at the police station as a witness, saying that there's a Santa Claus picking people off. They don't believe him. Obviously, it's like in the Leprechaun movie and stuff, where they don't believe him. This has a very Leprechaun movie tone, if you guys haven't noticed. Um, so what ends up happening then is he calls the girl. She picks him up. They're in a truck. Well, Santa Claus is coming to the police station, kills all the police officers. The other police officers are actually talking about how it's kind of like a Christmas tree. Santa Claus chases after them in a cop car, tries pulling him over. They end up shooting Santa. They go back to his grandfather's house. His grandfather has a bunker in the basement they go into. Santa Claus shows up and he kills a bunch of carolers. Um, and then they end up in the garage, which with the snow mobiles, trying to escape. And Santa Claus meets the angel. Oh, finally they face off for another time, and he says to him, "And boy, you've really gained weight." And he says, "Mrs. Claus, one hell of a cook." And then the reindeer comes and runs him over, and then it's actually kind of a funny joke. He goes, "Oh, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer." Um, and then the kids escape on the snowplow, or sorry, the snowmobile. And then Santa Claus puts on his coat and gets in the sleigh and starts flying. He's throwing present bombs at them. Meanwhile, it shows these kids that are really disrespectful. Oh, their mom's really a good looking lady, gorgeous lady, but they're like cursing, saying, "Let's see what we fucking got for Christmas," like just brats and like spoiled rotten that are rude. And then the presents blow up. They end up blowing up, and Santa Claus and their grandmother goes, "Fuck!" It was honestly really funny when they hear their grandmother go, "Fuck." I don't usually laugh at cursing, but that was pretty funny. It's back to Santa Claus. They end up in a school. They bust the window out to get in. Santa Claus shows up. They're in the library. He likes these candy canes. He says Christmas can scare the dickens out of people. They end up in the basement, or the hockey thing is in the basement. And then what ends up happening is Santa Claus is chasing after him. It's hilarious. There's the funniest scene in the whole movie. The girl shines a flashlight on Santa Claus's face. Ace and he gets kind of blinded, but then he goes, "I'm Santa Claus, not fucking Dracula." That's the funniest scene in the whole movie. But the thing that he's driving around ends up getting stopped because the old man's there. He's in angel form. Throws it there. They have a bet, and the old man had actually said to him earlier, maybe another 1,000 years to teach you. But then I guess the old man learned that it would be eternity. So the old man makes a bet with him that you cannot hurt or anybody for the rest of eternity or kill anybody, and you have to continue to spread joy for every Christmas Eve for the rest of eternity. Well, the old man wins, but Santa throws him in a pit of tries throwing him. Old man is able to get out. Those two go and chase after Santa because they think his powers are out. They chase after him. They end up running into all these hunters, and then these hunters shoot down the sleigh and stuff, and all the pasture was in there, because Santa Claus has caught him. That's actually that scene. Um, and the whole town thought, oh, he was the one picking people off. The boy and the girl don't say anything. And it ends. They kiss each other. It ends, and then it shows an airport, or where the girl goes, Satan, and Satan, and then the one goes, actually, Shaitan. She says, oh, like the hockey player, and he says no. He doesn't respond, and he sits down. Bill Goldberg says he's going to the North Pole, and grabs his beard, and yeah, that's the end of the movie. It was a pretty good movie. For a cheesy movie, like a lower budget movie, it's not bad at all. I mean, the premise is kind of interesting, and it's not scary by far, but yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good watch. It's kind of got a Gremlins tone to it, but it's more so like a Leprechaun movie, not like an original, like maybe like a Leprechaun 3, or like a Leprechaun in the Hood type tone to it. It's a pretty good movie. I would recommend it. I would give the movie a 7 and 8 quarters out of 10. 7.5 out of 10 is a better way to put it. Yeah, I give it a 7.8 out of 10. Not a bad movie at all. Pretty funny. I'd recommend it. I'd watch a sequel to it if they make a sequel. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you all think. If you guys have any other Christmas movies, whether they're horror Christmas movies or traditional Christmas movies or classics, let me know in the comment section and I will review them. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Oh, please like this video. Please share this video. Oh, and leave a comment on this video. And most importantly, please subscribe to the channel. We're at 49 subs. Thank you so much. But keep it up, people. I really appreciate it. Alright, thanks everybody. Have a nice night and Merry Christmas.